We did it again. Good morning. Good evening. Hey guys, what's up?
And good night.
We are on FazRadio with Mr. Forgedincrypto of the of the GG Collective. Yes, the upper right-hand corner of the GG Collective. And
Hey, you got it. Nice. There you go.
And we have a lot of questions. So why don't you introduce yourself, Mr. Forgedincrypto? We've never talked to you before, have we?
This is the first time.
Okay.
But you guys look way more handsome in person than you do on your little great pictures up there. It's amazing. It's both baldies. You should change the name to like Bald Radio or something.
Well, look at the upper right-hand corner.
I know. That's what I was saying. You got it's. I was complimenting Titan on all the graphics and everything he's been doing. I think it's been looking great. All the pre stuff.
Done a great job.
Yeah, he's doing fantastic.
I do my best.
We pay him well for his work too.
Yeah, pay me in insults. I'm rich.
Actually, to be honest, you have actually been paid more than me by FazRadio. So
you were very generous with the pool of funds that we've collected over the years. Yes,
with you. Well, Titan has set up a lot of good stuff. So
all right, so I'll introduce myself. Name's Nate Harper. Nathan Harper, Nate Harper. Go by Forgedincrypto on Discord, Twitter, all the other things. Known these two jokers for a while. We were OG Gala people that met and just, had a good time chatting, had like-mindedness. Faz and I actually lived in the same town for a little while, which was weird because it was all random talking on the middle of in Discord, and he was in my Discord, and everybody was talking about stuff in Oregon, and he's like, "Are you guys in like Salem or in Oregon?" And we're like, "We live in Salem." He's like, "Dude, I live in Salem," and so we went and had coffee. That was a long time ago. I think at that time the gala was going to be like $1 or something crazy. It got close, but I started in like crypto universe a long time ago, like 2012. One of my companies was mining crypto. Well, let me back it up because it's kind of a funny story. Good friend of mine, he was in the military with me, came and worked for me as one of my developers with this company. And he comes in one day and he's like, "Man, you got to check out this game. It's great. It's called Minecraft." This is 2012. This is like early Minecraft, right? And so I look at the game and I'm like, "Dude, that's the dumbest thing ever. Nobody's going to play that game. Who wants to play this blocky ass game? Nobody wants to play that game. That sucks. Get out of here." And so I always think it's like days, but it was probably weeks later. Who knows? He comes over and he's like, "Okay, I found this thing. It's called Bitcoin, and it's internet money. You got to mine it with code on a computer kind of stuff." And I was like, "Dude, I told you I don't like the game was dumb. Like nobody cares about that. Like go away." And he's like, No, it's this." And so he starts explaining it. We're looking at it, and I'm like, "Oh, let's throw some computers on that thing. Let's try it out." So we did, mined it, made some stuff, lost it in the Mt. Gox hack, but that started me down the loophole of crypto and blockchain and owning your own assets, and the idea of that personal sovereignty type of situation of I'm responsible for my stuff. I love owning my own things and taking responsibility for it. And just the code itself, the idea of it just really enamored me. So obviously I got into shitcoins. Bought my first shitcoin in like 2016, the original WorldCoin. So that was good. Moving on from there, I had been owning businesses throughout this time frame. And in 2020, I sold my last Web 2 business, which was actually my first Web 2 business as well. It was the longest standing one. And then dove deep into the Web 3 gaming ecosystem. I knew McCarthy from a while back, and he told me about Gala Games. And, just from there, decided I wanted to go deep, and I did. And I've been doing a whole lot of other things since then. It brought me here.
That is a very interesting history. Now, as you've turned into this blockchain and the Web3, you've been through 100 different avenues of like dipping your toes in to see what works and what doesn't. You're one of the people who understands this on a deeper level. So is that what led you to think of like the Good Game Collective and how to set this up?
Yeah, well, in 2020, seeing how NFT assets in these games were selling for ridiculous amounts, that was my first like kind of inkling. I was like, the common person's not going to be able to own this $1,000, $10,000, $100,000, $1 million asset. They can't own this. And Web3 and blockchain, in my opinion, like the way I was brought to like envision it is ownership and the ability to like collaborate. It's like a community, and it really kind of went against that ethos. And I was like, how do we go about that route? And so DAOs were there. They weren't quite a big thing. 2021, they really kind of took off. But the idea of sharing it, I thought of fractionalizing some of these things in the beginning, like turning them into fractional NFTs. But that was kind of a difficult, like, how do you share in the decision making and that stuff. So that's when it really started, and it's just evolved from there. Heck, when did you come out, Faz? When we were first talking about that, you came up here. We had I don't know, we had like 7 or 8 people out here. Family Man was up here, Timbo, John T. A bunch of us were out here up at the bank.
Like July of
2021. Yeah,
21.
I think it was 21, and so we all got together because of this idea of a DAO, right? Of bringing the community together to again share in the ability to not just collaborate and to make things better, but how can other people own assets that are larger? How can you have a decision in what happens with certain things? And that was kind of the genesis, and it's just kind of evolved from there. And so I've just kept plugging along, trying to do things. And then actually Seed Starter, when Jesse did that really kind of opened the ability for revenue share, because it is a tokenized security. And so the legalities of it allowed that to happen, and it really kind of opened that opportunity to kind of go this route. And so that really sped it up.
So that I don't want to underestimate or leave out any of the people that on the team that you assembled to kick this off. Who are some of the people that you can let others know are involved in this, launching this, getting it started, and grinding hard to make this happen?
I mean, the GG Collective right now is comprised of 4 folks that are like the inner workings of it. And so it's myself, Betty Orb, by his Discord name, Blake is his real name, Tim, or Timbo Slice. A lot of people know him. And then Drew, or Deadly, which is his Discord name. So Timbo and Drew, they started the Mafia. And the reason that partnership kind of really came about is the Mafia, they were all in like the community of the gaming side of things. They created leaderboards. They created a whole storyline. Heck, Tim's written his own book, which has nothing to do with any of this, but he's such a grinder in things. And we hit it off in Galaverse in 2021, Tim and I. So it was kind of just this natural thing that really kind of flowed together. We work well together. So it just kind of pushed in that direction.
So you're using Seed Starter, so it's going to be a legitimate security. And the idea behind this is like, it kind of started in some of the early casts that you guys put out. It was, hey, we're starting with Gala, and it was originally called the Gala Collective. And that wasn't the original vision. It was to have a platform to which anyone, any gaming studio, gaming company could integrate in, so that the players, the people who are actually enjoying the experience on the platform, can get on, get access to assets, can play these games, and you're bringing that to the platform, and we're seeing that happen, and it's unfolding right before our eyes right now, right? I mean,
so, I'll just kind of touch on that real quick. So it did, like, back when Faz in that group, we got together to kind of talk through some stuff. I realized a few things there. One, but it was no Gala Collective. It was just a gaming DAO, essentially, is what we were looking at, right? And it was for all Web3. even when we switched and changed and turned the name into the Gala Collective, it was still all Web3. The reason we did Gala Collective is because so many people that were working on it were from the Gala community. They were, I mean, that's where a lot of us came. And in reality, as we went down that road, the Gala Collective just seemed way too, single-minded in that arena. Not that Gala is bad or good. You can have your own opinions on that. I don't care. We wanted to be able to include everybody in Web3. So we changed the name to GG Collective. Good games. GG's, right? Good game. I mean, it's kind of perfect. So
get good, bro.
Get good. Get good. GG's. I think the GG's has been a fun one to reply to people on Twitter and stuff like that. They're like, oh my gosh, yes, it's a Titan. GG's. Good game. We got it.
Speaking of Titan, and not this person here, not that person, what's going on with a Titan in your life?
So in my life, the GG Collective, it has a deal with Star Atlas to purchase the Pierce T1 Titan. So, and the way it works, and this is a lot of questions on it, obviously. Everybody's going to want to know the price. Well, the only way you're going to know the price is if you're a GG token holder. We'll get into that later. But essentially, talking with Michael Wagner and what they have there, I'll back up. So I've talked to a lot of game developers, both in the Gala community and outside the Gala community. And Michael Wagner is one of the guys that I enjoy his vision of what he thinks Web3 can be, in terms of inclusivity, community, the ability to really embrace everything that these people have to offer, right? There's so much that these community members can offer, and he's doing that. Like him and his team, he has a badass team. They're doing the same. They're just including a bunch of people, which really rang true with what we're trying to do at the GG Collective, right? Like that's exactly what we're going to do. So after talking with him the first time, which shout out to Virtual for introducing me and getting that chat going. That was fantastic. We continued talking about a few different things, and then lo and behold, we decided, I said, hey, kind of want to, see if we can purchase your big ship you got on your website. So he said, which one? I said, well, my good friend's name is Titan, so I think the Titan's going to be the one. That's really the way it goes.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, I'm going to share
that's what What do we share?
So we had Michael on last year, and I can tell you 100%, if you go back and watch that episode, I agree with you 1,000%. That guy is amazing. That was one of my favorite casts that we've done in the last, 3.5 years we've been on now. His vision, his ability to understand the community, their desires, to integrate what people actually want onto his platform, and to do it in a way that is completely transparent. The guy told us, he answered every single question. Faz put him to the test and said, how much money do you got? And he told us. So, that embracement of that Web3 is fantastic. And I think that's going to be a great partnership for you guys.
Do you see this screen here?
Nope.
No, hang on.
Show it.
Hang on. You have to wait a minute. Stop pushing buttons. I can fix it.
I'm not pushing a damn thing.
I got settings on here.
There we go.
Hey, look at that pretty thing.
So what is this thing going to do exactly?
Oh, it's going to fly around in space. Carry
so
stuff.
It's like, it's the mothership, right? From what I understood.
Look, hold on.
Have they given you any utility yet?
I'm going to pull something up here. I got to pull up my conversation with Wagner real quick so I can read it. So there's a lot here. I got to go back in time. So give me a second.
Pierce T1 Titan. Apparently it's rather big beat stick of a ship.
if you want to talk, like when you want to talk gameplay and you want to go down that route, like the reality is, I mean, you need to bring on like a virtual, bring on a Anthony, bring on Groove. Like there's a lot of people out here that are going to know way more in terms of gameplay and what this is going to do than me. What brought me to Star Atlas was their tokenomics. The tokenomics of Star Atlas is the best in Web3, in my opinion, in how their flywheels work. It's great. So that's what really brought me there. Then I actually watched your guys' video with Wagner, really enjoyed it, liked that. And then again, virtual, you know, as he knows what I've been doing, he said he's been talking with Wagner for a long time. He's like, you guys need to connect. You need to talk. So that's really what it came from. So
Virtual is who introduced us to Michael as well. That guy deserves all the love in the world. He is one of the top gaming experts. When you talk to him, he has the pulse on 500 different things. And this Star Atlas thing, no, listen, so that builds a lot of credibility. And when he talks about Star Atlas the way he does, that gives me a ton of confidence. And then after talking to Michael and watching their Discord, interacting a little bit, I think it's a great platform. I think they're going to have a lot of success.
Yeah, I'm going to show this again. Can we clear this screen here? There we go. No, there we go. I just wanted to show another picture of the Titan here.
I mean, they got a bunch of beautiful, I mean, people were talking about doing like actual like photography and pushing stuff out through, you know, with the Titan and everything that's going on there. I'm having a hard time finding it because basically what he was telling me that can go on with these ships themselves is, you know, in the terms of it's its own virtual world. Let's just get it down to that, right? Its own virtual world. He's talking about you can hold concerts on there. That's why he was like, if you really want to do, if you're in the music industry side and you want to do that kind of thing, the Phoenix is the way to go because it would allow itself more ability to do that kind of stuff. And you know, in reality, the GG Collective, you know, one of the big things there is revenue share. So, you know, talking with a bunch of the people around, they're like, you know, look, it's Titan. The Pierce T1 Titan is the way to go for revenue share.
So how does that work?
So maybe back up and explain a little bit for some of the people who might be new here, how the Good Game Collective is going to be revenue sharing and how this general overview of how this is all going to work.
I thought it was Get Good Collective.
I thought it was too. Get Good.
You can call it any GG thing.
GG's. No, okay, so revenue share. So the idea of the GG Collective is we are going to be running I don't know if I can say, am I allowed to say that? I'm going to get in trouble. Somebody's going to come after me. Anyways, we're going to be selling the token at some point in time here in the near future.
On SeedStarter, right?
SeedStarter. Yeah, go to my SeedStarter. You can check it out there. There's links in the GG Collective Discord. You can see all the light papers in the GG, you know, Collective Discord, all that stuff. But the reality is the token itself is going to be representative of revenue share and voting rights within the community. We're trying to keep it as simple as possible with what it is going to do. And, you know, the big thing that people want to do when they are a part owner of these large assets is revenue share. So this allowed us that ability to be able to pass that through. With all of the things that we're going to bring in, the Titan is as big as it is. It's the tip of the iceberg, man. I mean, we're talking to game studios to be full-on game studios within the collective. We're building games internally right now in the collective, right? We're creating apps that these different games can utilize. This is all being built right now, like just kind of under the radar. And we'll start announcing them as they're there. I don't want to, you know, soon things all the time because I hate that. That's why we didn't really kind of tease the whole Titan too much. It was like, I hate that whole thing. Like, oh, we got an announcement coming. Don't worry, guys. Shit your pants. So Yeah, man. It's so revenue share is a big one, but then the voting rights too. So what faction is the Titan going to be a part of? What games do we want? Do we want the Titan to be a part of the collective, right? Do we want to purchase any other big assets, like a Citadel? Like, do we want to? All these type of situations, those big, decisions on the way the community wants to go, they should be a part of those and have that say. And so that's what we're going to do in the collective as well.
So ultimately, the players, the members of the collective who have the token and are part of the platform and participating, are going to be guiding what the collective buys, the game, have input on what game studios are going to be a part of this. And it's not going to be like a wild free-for-all for the community, but at the same time, it's going to give players the power that they should have had with a lot of these other platforms from a voting standpoint and having a voice in what comes to fruition for them, because they're the players, right?
For sure. When it's, everybody thinks of a DAO is, there's too much going on with the DAO. The communities can't make these decisions. And, to some degree, I kind of agree to a point. And that's kind of how we set up the collective itself is ultimately, right now we have 4 people that are in there that's running it right now. As soon as the first round is done, we're going to be hiring more people. We're going to need CTOs. We're going to need marketing people. There's a lot of stuff that we need now that we don't have because we're not paying ourselves. Like, we're just doing this out of like the love for what we want to do. So it's going to grow. There's going to be departments, right? Just like any kind of company itself. You got a treasury, you got a marketing department, you got a CEO, you got a CFO, like all this stuff that's there, that's going to be a part of the collective as well. And they're going to have their daily duties and everything that they have to do. Those people will be voted on by the collective on a yearly basis. So we have it written in the contract, in the light paper, that on a yearly basis, people can put in their applications to replace anybody that's going to be in there, and that will go to the community to be able to look at and vote on how that's going to go about. And so whoever's there, hopefully they do a good job. And so people want to keep them in there.
So the community will actually be on the board, so to speak, of the collective.
They're voting in everybody that's running the collective. So
that's ambitious. Isn't that a little scary for you though?
Bro, I've been through a lot of shit. This doesn't scare me. Look, this is all semantics that can be worked out with a people. There's going to be things that upset people. It's going to happen, but
right.
Let's have an adult conversation and talk about it, and we can work through it. I guarantee it. So,
what if I worked my way into the collective? I got to be in charge, and then I bought myself a jet with the money.
That's not how it works.
We actually have it written in. We actually have that written in the light paper. If you've read it, Faz.
He didn't.
He didn't read it. So
I read it.
Essentially, the heads of these departments, they have oversight of each other as well. Essentially, right? So, hence, Faz comes in as he would do. He's like, "Oh, I've got access to X amount of dollars." Which, oh, by the way, again, we're working in situations to only allow these departments to have a certain amount of access to funds, so they wouldn't have access to all funds. But again, somehow he gets access to buy himself a jet, buys himself a jet. Well, tries to, is doing whatever it is. Their heads are going to see that, and they're going to hopefully, since they have the communities voted them in, are going to be able to say, he's a bad actor. We have an emergency vote to, relieve him of his duties.
Unless I promise them rides on the jet.
Sure. I mean, look, I can only go so far without getting rid of, all the evil that humanity has within them.
Okay. Just making sure.
So where can people go, by the way, to get a copy of the light paper to read?
All relevant links are in the GG Collective Discord. If you go in there, up into links, GG Collective Discord.
Do you guys have a website?
Say what?
Do you guys have a website?
Yeah. ggcollective.gg.
I'm going to type it in.
Do it.
I'm gonna type those into the description on YouTube below.
Perfect. Yeah, and then it's literally the orange little squares that are in the GG Collective Discord official links. You'll go in there. You've got the GG Collective website. You've got Seed Starter. You have the light paper. You've got all of our relevant social media. Oh, and there's something that's called Vox Battles in there. That's interesting.
Vox Battles. I thought Vox was all made up.
Oh, Faz, just go to the website and read, for cripe's sake.
We can talk about that too, because I'll tell you what, that's a community member that's
we did a whole episode on it.
That's a community member that was building forever, right? So Cryptogram, and I know this is the reason why I brought him on board in the first place and talked to him about it, is he was building this a long time ago when Vox was first coming out, and he kind of built a special one for Black Harp, which is one of my companies that just kind of have Black Harp logos on it and stuff. So, it's you're using Vox that's in there. So he's continuing to develop this to where you will be able to utilize your Vox within his little battlefield and run around, and you're going to end up earning collective coin, which is a database token within the collective, and use it for certain things. So yeah.
And you have another game that's in testing, I believe, right?
We have a few. So which one are you talking about?
I'm talking about that runner that I keep seeing.
Okay, so that's Doc's game. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah. So that's not actually Kate Runner. So
yes, that's it.
Yeah, so he's testing it out. They're doing things. We'll probably talk to him about partnerships and stuff like that. But that is his company. He has a business partner with it as well. Stone Ice is his Discord name. But they're developing that, which is a fun one. And there's a little announcement that'll come out with that next week too. So stay tuned on that. So there'll be some fun things that are gonna happen with not just Cade Runner, but some other stuff that they've got going on. So,
hey, Faz, I'm gonna put you've got the link on your screen. Can you put the Seed Starter for the Gala Collective link up too there? And I'll grab that at the end too.
Like running ads for people. What's going on here?
No, listen. So no, because this is too epic, right? And the thing is that we're not running ads and we're not trying to push or pump anything. I think, well, at least for me, I can speak for myself. I'm genuinely excited about this because this is what I hope these platforms would be like. You're doing it legit. You're not making outrageous promises. You're not hyping anything. And you're actually delivering things on a regular basis. You're interacting with the community. Everybody's doxed and out there to talk to. Everybody's approachable. This is like the blockchain gaming dream that other people have had. And so that's what excites me personally about this.
Sweet, man. I appreciate that. We're just trying to do the best we can and not bullshit people. So we got there'll be another announcement next week too. So do you guys remember? I don't know if I should say this.
You're doing it, man.
I might as well.
I was going to say, you're always telling people quit making announcents of announcements. So you got to.
I hate doing it when it's not live. I hate when it's not live, but I know.
Premium members.
This is something different.
Oh.
But we were talking about games. I already gave you premium members something special. Come on, man.
Well,
very special. If you're a premium member, go to the premium channel and watch that. It is well worth your time to do so.
You're going to get something out of it. That's all I want to say.
Hold on.
Sorry to keep interrupting you, Nate. Go ahead with your epic new announcement.
Being a premium member.
Well, there's more games. Do you guys remember a tower defense game?
Fortitude. I wanted that game so bad. I love tower defense games.
It changed to something entirely different.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't even matter because it was dead. DOA, dead on arrival. Nobody cares, right? It's gone. You just have these NFTs sitting in your wallet doing nothing. So we're building something for you. You're going to be able to use those NFTs, my friend. And think
I have a
Cryptogram
whole
is
bunch.
typing, oh, look at his face. He's typing in my Discord. He's like, damn it, don't say anything. Don't say anything. Tim and Cryptogram and Deadly, they've been working literally working their asses off, trying to get something together to get put out. I'm going to say it now. And it's going to make them work even harder. It's going to be next week that I think at least testing, they're going to hate me forever. At least testing wise. So, stave off your excitement for I love it already, but it's
wait. Do I get any benefits for being a Fortitude NFT owner? I mean, there are people now, later that might want to buy them, but I've been waiting for years to use my Fortitude NFT owners. I mean, NFTs, do I get something out of it?
See, I know, Faz, you're always looking for something. You're always looking for what's going to benefit me. Now, I'll tell you. What's going to benefit you. You're actually going to get to use them first. Okay, let's put it that way. You can actually use them, not just going to sit in your wallet. You'll actually see them. They'll be NFTs you'll be able to use in the game. And they will have value within the collective as you use them and play the game. There's a plan that's in the works for collective coin, which is a database token internally that we're gonna put out there for all the things that we have going on. Heck, we got a slot machine. We're gonna have a slot machine that's out there where people can come in and win NFTs off the slot machine and just fun shit like that. So lots of things.
Not bad. That's all we got.
Well, hold on. This is for Cryptogram and this is for Tim. You guys will all have, because they're like, well, we don't even actually have Fortitude NFTs. I'm like, I got enough. You guys are all going to have the Fortitude NFTs. Don't worry. All the ones that I have, they're shared with you. I
have a few. Weren't they just like towers or something? And that was it?
Yeah, they're all towers and stuff. Did I forget to say that we're going to actually implement BT orbs into it?
No, you didn't just say that.
Oh, I forgot to say that.
BT orbs have a use?
It's a tower defense game, man. It's going to be a tower in there. It's a BT orb. It's a little orb tower right now. So we're working as hard as we can. So we're trying to bring some cool shit that'll just be fun for people to get in and play. So I've been trying to beat Tim at it as I test it, and that son of a, he's just a way better gamer than I am. I just gotta say it, man. The guy's good. Between him and
he plays like 8 hours a day.
Well, between him and Deadly, man, they're literally professionals. Deadly was like an actual professional gamer, so I'm not gonna beat him. I barely play enough as it is. So
I just saw an EOE battle with Timbo just the other day, and that guy's dedicated to that game. I think they were trying to get as many ships as they could in a battle at once, and apparently they've been crashing EOE servers and stuff.
Look, the thing I want to actually bring to the collective too is I want to bring this was you've met Chris. Did you end up meeting Chris when you were out here? No, you didn't, Titan.
I met Chris. He was there when I was there. Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, he's always had the idea of somebody he's wanted to have somebody do it for him as a ship battle for Miranda's, like a Miranda's ship battle game. So
that would be nice.
Yeah, and I know McCarthy's, he straight up stated make every mini game you want. Use the assets as you can. Make a mini game for Miranda's. Do it. All that does is bring more people to the game. So hell yeah. So he's stoked. Anybody who wants to do that, come to the collective. We'll help you out, man. Let's make it.
So if you have a Miranda ship. Oh, okay. So if you're in the collective, and you have an NFT, like I have some Miranda's items. Can I do anything with these NFTs in the collective?
Nothing right now because there's no games to play with it. So the idea, and I know what you're getting at, is assets within games. So as we move past this first funding round, ultimately the first funding round, as you read about it, is I got to stand flying here. How do I get a fly in this? I'm on the 6th floor. How do I get a fly in here? Anyways, go away. Am I distracted? What was I at? Oh yeah. NFTs. So the collective is going to decide where they want to go in terms of games and NFTs, right? Maybe they want to go and they want to acquire a large asset holding in Moranis. Maybe they want a Citadel. I've tried to get a Citadel. Maybe they want to go into nice face, Titan. Maybe they want.
I'm just gonna be quiet.
Into pixels. Maybe they want pixels. Maybe they want I don't know, whatever game. 6th floor hunting lodge. Trust me, I do not like to be. I love the outdoors. I'm not going on the 6th floor of anything when I'm hunting. Get me out in the woods. But the collective's going to decide, man. Like maybe we want to, there's a new game coming out and they want to invest in it. Maybe there's nodes that they want to be a part of because it really supports the community and they have games they want to be in. Playable's pushing a bunch of stuff. They've got a bunch of things. Maybe people want to get into that. So the collective is what's going to decide, and then your internal head departments are going to be like, okay, well, we have X amount of dollars we feel is good to allot towards a new game, right? We have overhead, we have this, we have 50 grand that we want to allot to a new game. What game do we want to get into? And there'll be choices. The collective will talk about it. Who's been using the game? Who has assets there? Maybe we buy those assets from a collective member because they have too many. They can't manage them. Or maybe we just manage assets for people as well in some of those games because we can't purchase them outright. There's so many options that we can do. It's really the world's our oyster as we move down that road.
Well, okay. So what I was getting at is I really like the idea of renting out my NFTs.
Sure.
Can I loan my NFT to anyone in the collective?
So, I mean, the idea would be like right now, Black Harp, which is my company, we had the ancient EOE. And so we are allowing the collective to run the ancient EOE and share in the revenue. So 50% to the collective, 50% to Black Harp. Actually, I think Tim gets a percentage of it. It doesn't really matter because it's like $12 a day. So I mean, you play for 100 hours, you get $12. Who cares? But there's potential there. Don't get me wrong. There's potential. There's some potential. So there's scenarios like that. And I think I don't want to solidify it as it is going to be this way. Because as you and I, as all of us know, things change, especially in this space overnight. And if I say, well, yes, we are going to be rent them out, and it's going to be 50% and 50%. And then somebody comes out with some weird tokenomics, and then we have to change it. Everybody's upset. It has to be on a case-by-case basis. A lot of those cases will probably be the same as we move down that road. But, it's going to change. Something's going to change.
And I think another important point that really needs to be brought up here is in the event that something goes sideways, the collective can get together and vote to exit a platform if it's not performing up to their standards or it's doing things that is not right for the community, right? They can propose that and vote on it and say, hey, we're done here. We don't like the way things are working out.
I mean, think of it. It's like, everybody's like, well, you're just like a public company. I'm like, sure. Think of it as like a public company that you vote on some CFO or some board member that you don't care about at Apple, right? Like nobody votes on that crap. In this scenario, you're going to be able to actually have a say within what actually happens within that. And you're exactly right. And if some game, if for some reason Star Atlas goes off the rails and just starts to tank and there's some value left in that Titan, everybody's seeing the writing on the wall, the community can say, we need to offload this, take that cash, and we want to put it somewhere else. 100%. That's their way, man. That's the collective. Do it. You're not locked into anything.
Sorry. Go ahead, Faz.
I was going to change the subject. So,
well, it's funny. I was going to do the same thing. I was going to ask for the community questions, if there was any, before we moved on to another topic.
Okay.
Because I did want to hit what we talked about in the green room on the back end of that.
Well, I just wanted to say something first that I saw on Twitter, and I congratulated the person for it. But you had brought up Playable, and I noticed that Vera Awesome is now working for Playable.
I saw that. That's
absolutely.
Great. Little shout out there.
Yeah, congrats.
Vera's fantastic. She was one of my favorite people to talk to. She came on FazRadio one night, and boy, did we have a nice time talking to her.
We should do it again.
Yeah, we should probably catch up with her.
You should.
What's that?
Absolutely.
You're talking over him. Tight and be quiet.
No, I was saying the same thing. You should get her on. I'd love to hear what she has to say.
We need to get her on because she could probably give us a perspective on Playable that we haven't heard before. I'm skeptical. Titan is all in on Playable, so we're kind of.
I love Playable.
I like what they're doing too. They're not really like, they're not over promising, under delivering. They're just kind of grinding it out. They're not hyping stuff. So they're just kind of trudging along, doing stuff.
Well, and Old Bull's been on here a couple of times. He promised to come back at the end of the year, and he got busy, so he couldn't come on, but we do need to get him back. But that guy is absolutely hysterical. And there is zero shit for him. If he fucks up, he's the first one who'll be like, okay, I fucked that up completely. Now we're gonna talk to some people and we're gonna fix it. And and I've said this before, he earned top respect from me when he talked about how he brought on his game developer. Remember, he told that story. It was the top game developer in his area, and the guy was retired. And he said, I told the guy, I know what I want to do, but I don't know how to do it. And I need some help. And I'd like you to come over. And what is it going to take to get you to just be a consultant for us? And he ends up hiring this guy. But it's the authenticity of who he is. He's not going to, front and let his ego stand up and have all this hubris that he thinks he knows what he's doing when he doesn't. When he doesn't know what he's doing, he'll stand in front of the community and say, you know what? I don't know what I'm doing here, but I'm going to find somebody who does know what they're doing. We're going to put him in the right place and give him the right authority to get this shit done. And I love that about them.
Yeah, for lack of a better term, there's no bullshit.
Yeah.
No, it was good. Look, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I got him on your podcast the very first time.
You did. That was awesome. And we were all skeptical because Faz and I were coming off of teams like Aqua Goat and all these, and we're like, oh my God, and you're over here talking about a guy named Old Bull with Playable games, and I'm like, oh God.
Well, the thing that tuned me into him was I was on Twitter, and I wrote them off a long time before that. I was like, oh, they're just a copycat of Gala. And then we go through the bear market, and all of a sudden they're tweeting out stuff like they're delivering things. And I was like, but they're actually delivering shit? I'm like, get out of here. And so I got in their Discord and I started kind of snooping around a little bit. And I was like, hey, you guys, you should get on Faz. Come talk on Faz. I want to see what you guys got going on. He's like, okay, let's do it. I was like, all right. So that's great.
Well,
so I joined that one. That was fun.
I was completely skeptical. And then I started doing the same thing. I started poking around. I started learning about the team members, and he came on the show and he blew me away with his upfront honesty as well. That seems to be the key here, right? So if you look at Star Atlas and you look at Playable, there's absolutely no hype. There's absolutely no bullshit. There's no promises. There's no any of that stuff. It's just delivering.
Don't stink? The bull don't
it had look.
Where's he packing it away?
I don't know, but the honesty and the straightforwardness, I think that's going to be your key when you're looking at these platforms. Is you don't want to find the guys who are bullshit experts, right? If they know too much, that's kind of a red flag in this space.
No bull from Playable. Okay.
Yeah.
And when you look at that, there's a ton of different projects that are coming out that have nodes, right? Nodes, they can generate revenue for the collective. People might want to, have some node assets, right? Those are things that they can bring in and be on board and be a part of it. And we want to be across the entire community. We don't want to be pigeonholed into just one because everybody plays different games, not just one game all the time. So, and there's a lot of places to dive into. So
that's the perfect segue for the next thing I wanted to touch on is we were proud assistance in the sponsorship of that you were kind enough to give us for NerdNode. And you are heavy on the nerd side. Tell us a little about what's going on with NerdNode, as well as the other things you'd like to talk about regarding nodes and how all this is going to integrate together.
Let's see. So, I mean, NerdNode, we host different nodes for people across the ecosystem. You know, Gala nodes, Myria nodes. We're always adding different projects that we can host for people. But we're expanding into the hardware side in terms of we are going to create a DePIN network, a decentralized physical infrastructure. So we're going to be doing a sale for nodes in the future, probably April timeframe. But nothing, you know, I don't want to go too crazy until we get our roadmap out so people can read it. You know, you can see, you know, what our light paper is. But the idea is to, you know, create a true decentralized network that, you know, can expand not just into the Web3 side. Like we're hosting nodes themselves. We're going to host validators across a bunch of different ecosystems. We're going to dive into the Web2 space. We've got a bunch of people on board just from the Web2 space that want to, you know, utilize our services. And so creating that network allows us to be more secure, more decentralized, more efficient, and more cost effective.
What do these nodes do?
The nodes are basically a little server that you're going to put in your home. That's it. You're literally going to have a box that you're going to plug into your internet, and you're going to plug into the power, and then you're going to be a part of the network.
And what does it do when you're part of the network? Yay, I'm part of the network.
Again, so we're going to be hosting nodes. So like right now, we host nodes. We have, you know, in the future, we're going to have validators, you know, and then other Web2 applications as well. And Web3 stuff, there's tons of stuff that we can do.
Well, what
gaming side. Yeah. So those nodes, your Gala node, your Myria node is hosted on one of these little pucks that are within a house. And so at a point in time, there will be, with those nodes, there will be revenue share that will come through those as well.
And it's hands-off management of those nodes, so you don't have to worry if your power goes out or if there's a bad push or if your cat steps on the power button.
Yeah, so
none of that.
Sides. So two sides of this equation, right? So you have the NerdNode software side where we manage all of the things, right? All of the node hosting, the validators, the Web2 aspect of it. You have that side. And then you have the infrastructure, the hardware side, where all this is ran on, right? So if you have, you know, 100,000 nodes on this side over here, if, you know, 1,000 of them go down, it doesn't matter because we can transfer it out throughout where it needs to be. We can also transfer it to places where it needs more. Maybe it's a gaming node. Maybe we expand out into that with the GPU stuff, which we have in our roadmap. So, and the gaming side, when they actually utilize GPUs in these Web3 games, and they want to be decentralized, we can do that as well. And maybe there's more need for, you know, GPU power in Korea, so we can focus it there. So that's the idea.
I have more questions about the node. So they'll be running Web2 games, and people who run these nodes get a share of income from it.
There will be. I don't know about Web2 games, no, but there's a bunch of different business applications that we've worked with or working down to utilize our network.
So it'll be storage solutions, memory, GPU power, and small chunks
I'm not going to get into the details of it, but
yeah, they're stored on each of those. So if one goes down, or if, as Nate explained, 1,000 of them go down, the network will still run and be able to serve people their data, but it provides a big blanket of protection. Think of it as like a mini AWS kind of setup.
And then the kicker is, you know, down the road, turning the entire thing into a DAO as well. So the entire network and all revenue, everything within it is within the DAO.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to get at. It seems like you're buying a node because you're going to be part of something, and you're going to make money. You can make money by being a part of something, by running Office apps and or game apps.
You're not going to run anything. You're going to be a part of something because you are supporting the network with your power and your internet. So the software behind the scenes, that's what runs it all, right? So all you do in that node scenario is plug it in and walk away and let it sit there. Make sure that your power's on. Make sure your internet's good.
Do I need to give it a wallet where I'll be getting money from this whole deal, or what?
Yes, I need.
Look at he goes straight for the money.
I know. He's like, how do I get paid? Where do I get
paid? That's what I heard. I heard you saying literally that people would be paid for stuff.
I mean, if you're going to host something, you should get paid for putting something in your house. So yes, you're going to get paid with that.
All right. That was it. I just needed the straight talk. I didn't hear the straight talk, so I had to.
I said on the get-go. You asked the question of it. I don't know if I can say any.
It's all about me. It's all about me.
You're like, wait, how much am I going to get paid though? No, me personally. So when I plug it in,
me. Not them, not the other people that I'm telling about this. No, that's not like they get paid. It's just me. Okay.
So that's just a little bit. Don't get too excited yet, because I'm not. Until I get you actual paper showing what the plan is.
That's the plan. Okay. Plan.
Yeah.
And I think it's important.
Yeah. I want the roadmap out. I want the light paper out. I want you guys to read this, and I want input. Like, what are you guys going to say, right? I've already sent a little bit out to a couple people internally to kind of give me their feedback and what they think, and there'll be more. So people that are like in my Discord, you're gonna, you'll definitely get access to some stuff to be able to help me, figure out how you feel it's going to go. What do you think should be added? What do you think should be changed?
So
I just noticed the name change.
Are these going to be really expensive, like nodes from other places? I mean, the average Joe run one of these nodes?
They will be. They would definitely be cost effective. So this is nothing to do with GG. So
that's where the question I was trying to jump in. This is completely separate.
That's why I had the Nerd Node logo the whole time.
Totally different company, totally different owners of that company. Just a different project that I've been working on for a long time as well. So
these are not GG nodes. Not GG nodes.
They're not GG nodes. Now, will GG want to create their own nodes? I mean, if they have enough games that they actually need, some actual hosting capabilities, why not?
So is everybody coming out with a node? I mean, is there going to be a Star Atlas node? I mean,
why not? Why not?
It depends on what they do with it, in my opinion, right? So if you have a node that just sits there and is a money printer,
agreed.
That's a bunch of crap. If you have a node that's actually being used for applications and for hosting things, whether it's games or files or even social networking or anything like that, you can go play chess on it, right? Your favorite game. There's a big difference between that. So I think the utility of the nodes is what's important, because anybody can throw out a money printer node. We've seen it happen.
And that's what we thought, with Golonades, they were going to run games. And I want to, address MICE, and I 100% agree with you. And everybody I say that comes to Nerd Node, if you can run it on your own, heck, we're building videos to put out to show people how to run their own. I mean, that's the idea of it, is to actually decentralize the network. The most decentralized way is if you have 50,000 nodes. Well, you have 50,000 people that each own a node. They're all spread out evenly throughout the world, and they all run it on their own, and they all have like equal power and internet to host those comparatively. So that's the ideal scenario. Is that ideal scenario going to happen? No, because you just don't have utopia. I'm sorry. But there's somewhere in between, right? And so Nerd Node offers a service for a lot of people that don't want to, either bother with having to run it, or don't have the actual understanding and know-how to run it. So we offer a service for it, and we have guarantees and stuff like that. So obviously I'm biased, but I feel we do a damn good job for people. But my ultimate goal, and that was from the get-go, is to create a real decentralized network within Nerd Node. And that's what we can do with this physical hardware. So the hardware itself. So in my eyes, and I know you guys have had lots of decentralization discussions on what it can be and where it's at. In my eyes, there's two main scenarios that you have in decentralization. You have the hardware, and you have the ownership of it, right? So the hardware, right? That's the solution with DePIN, the actual decentralized physical infrastructure. Having this hardware sent out as decentralized, spread out as you possibly can to as many people as you possibly can, that can run it with good internet and good power. And that's the first step, right? The second power is who owns that, right? So now if NerdNode owns the whole thing and they're not sharing in anything of it, it's still not very decentralized. Even if we share in 50% of it, okay, you're sharing in the revenue, but who decides what's going on in there, right? It's still a decentralized network in the software that's going on in there. So, but if we turn it into a DAO, and then not in the same structure as the collective, but there's some similarities, a little bit of differences. But the idea is to create that understanding of the amount of people that own that network itself from ground up, and splitting it up to as many people as you can. That creates a more decentralized network. Now, it's not the utopia, but it's pretty damn close. That's the end goal.
So, I am known as Titan for putting people on the hot seat. So how's your ass feeling right now, Nate?
Greedier the fast. You know what? I got a new truck and it has air conditioned seats. I'm just saying.
You're gonna need that in a minute.
All right.
Because I've got to ask you some of the tough questions. You don't get off the hook just because we're buddies, right?
I plead the fifth. Wait.
So listen. This is a legitimate question, right? That I have. You have so much shit going on. How are you expecting to deliver on everything that you're talking about reasonably?
He just hung up on you. There he is. He didn't hear any of that.
How do I expect to deliver on it reasonably?
Nate, this is a lot of stuff. I mean, and this is deep shit, right? This is not like just throw out a crappy game and call it done. This is like hardcore, deep stuff,
shit,
right?
Man.
Sure.
How are you going to deliver on that?
I feel we all have certain qualities as human beings. Faz likes money, so that's his quality is how can I get the most money? Obviously,
I'm doing pretty crappy at it.
It says here it's greedier than Faz. So anyways, we all have our own. We have our own like good parts that we do, like whatever that may be. I'm not the best at hardly anything. Like I can barely check email. Okay, so on the tech side of things, is there like I can trade a little bit. Yeah, I can make some money there. That's good. Like I feel like I'm a pretty good father.
Oh, I can trade a little bit. So and I can buy a Pierce T1 super mega battleship. Oh, I can do a couple trades. I can get some stuff. Yeah, I can do trades. I've done trades. Yeah.
My superpower, and this is to answer your question, Titan.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Is I feel like I'm really good at people and bringing the right people in to do the job that I know I can't do, and to share in a vision that I feel like I have to move forward. And I think that I've done that with both NerdNode, with the team that's behind there, and they're behind the scenes. Nobody really knows them except for Anthony, by the way, who's a fucking badass. So
yeah, he is.
Anthony's a beast.
Anthony Ra. Right?
Yeah, Anthony Ra. He's a beast, and so he's going to be the reason that we are one of the reasons that we are able to do what we do at NerdNode, along with Ben and Chris Corrado and Chris Blackburn and myself. I think the collective is the same way. Like with the people that I have there now and the people that want to be a part of it, they're the ones that are going to help move it forward. That it's not me. I'm more of just a conduit of being able to take these people and put them and point them in the direction. So that's the answer to your question, Titan.
Everyone else is the smart one. He's just lucky to have them around him, right?
I'm just the pretty one.
No, so
I am the face.
Yeah.
Look at me.
Listen, that's a legit thing because we haven't even hit everything that you're doing, right? Because we're coming up on an hour here. We haven't even hit everything that you have your fingers in. I mean, the details, right? On all of these things, we gave a very general overview of everything. And that takes an amazing amount of work. And so to me, I love it, but at the same time, it's like, God, how's he going to pull all this crap off? You know, I mean, that's a lot of stuff. So I absolutely think you can do it. I'm glad that you're not overhyping this. I'm glad that you're including people to get feedback before, not after, you do something. And I can't wait to see what comes out of this, man, because I've seen the results I've seen so far are fantastic. You've produced more in the last 3 months than most gaming companies have produced in the last 3 years.
Well, that's because I've been working.
Kudos to you, man.
I've been working for years on it, right? So
can you remove the snorkel and pull it out of his butt with you? I mean, Jesus Christ!
Hey, you know what?
That's up their butt is playable.
That's the way I feel on every cast that you do with Brink. I swear, you've got your tongue so far up his ass half the time, it's ridiculous.
I really do miss this show.
There we go.
And you've got it.
I appreciate the kind words too. So it's definitely been difficult on a lot of levels, but you know, it's just kind of grinding through. And again, the people that I'm surrounding myself by are the reason why we're able to do it. That's why.
I do not doubt that.
I rest on the community, man. Like, this is why the GG Collective, why I'm so excited about it. Because guess where Anthony came from? The community, right? Guess where where I met him? The community. And then Drew came from him. Blake, my own community here, right? You guys, the community. This is where it all comes from. So leaning on everybody that's here, there's a bunch of smart sons of bitches, man. All right?
I'm telling you, that team you assembled is like epic. I'm like jealous that you were able to get that level of talent that quickly. And like with people like with Anthony, right? So I follow along in some of these channels and you're like, hey, so, you know, the 74th node on the flux capacitor isn't blinking in the right way. And he's like, hold my beer. And it's fixed 10 minutes later.
He's great, man. I love it. We get on and I'll touch base with him every once in a while because he's working directly with Ben at Nerd Node. And, you know, I always want to touch base and see where he's at because I know he's working his ass off. And he'll start just diving in and I'll be quiet for a while because he knows. And he'll be like, yeah, I probably should kind of put that into like words you can understand. I'm like, dude, you're not going to. Beep, boop, bop, bro. That's all you need to say. Beep, boop, bop. Things are going. Good job.
All right, Mr. Nate, thank you so much for taking time for us. It is so good catching up with you again. I missed all those conversations we've missed in the last 6 months. What do you want to leave the FazRadio community with?
Come over to the GG Collective. Come to the Nerd Node Discord. Come to those Discords. You know, the collective is hopping with all the news. You know, Star Atlas people in there, which is great. They're a fantastic community. Just come in there and be a part of it. We got so many fun things that we're going to do, and that all came from the community. I'm sure you guys have ideas. Bring it to the collective. Let's make it a real thing. Let's make this shit awesome.
And I am notoriously horrible for saying, you know, hey, I'll post that stuff, you know, later, and then I never do because I get distracted after the show. While you guys were having your discussion earlier, I already posted it in the YouTube description, all the links that we talked about. So they're all ready to go. Get over there, get involved.
Look at you.
All right.
I'm learning.
Awesome.
Thank you very much, Nate.
Yeah. I'll hang around and talk a little bit more.
But good.
Take care, guys.
I have some questions. Where's
Thanks
the
for joining tonight.
Where's the button?
Where's the button?